Good afternoon. It's so nice to see everybody here. Very welcome to Dr. Peterson from Turkey, and I see Elmarie Edwards from University of Cape Town. Oh, it's so good to see you guys here. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us in here. I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible, so that we do not waste, or not saying not quick, but going to do it short and but still so that you can see how everything is working and how BuildPrax is putting everything together in a one platform with your drawings and your bill of quantities and your certificates, feasibilities, all into one platform, which we have done now. This is our fifth, what we call our masterclass, where the first one was about how to measure the drawings. The second one is to set up your bill of quantities and to measure the bill of quantities with certificates and tender analysis. And the third one was with, well, I can't even remember. And the fourth one was about feasibilities. We looked in depth of that. And today we're going to show you how to do a multi-building project where we've got lots of buildings and we want to put that in a bill of quantities, and we divide them up in locations. And instead of having one long bill of quantities with lots of sections with 10 little buildings after each other, we will have a bill of quantities and with all the locations below the items, and we can show you how to manage a project like that, all into one platform. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly into this, and I'm going to share my screen, and there we are. So we're going to start the project. Sorry, let me just make everything here so everybody can see. So we're going to start the project. Let's call this one Masterclass. Let's make it Master 05C. And the project number, you give it a project number 05C, and the client is Checkbook Properties. Checkbook Properties. We've got Cape Town as our site address. Let's keep it in US dollar for our international people. Leave it in meter. In the bill of quantities standard, just quickly for those that don't know, is we've got the KOTO standard, the engineering bill of quantities, which work with references, columns and things in it. And we've the standard bill of quantities. We are aiming to put in a few more as they come through. And that is, but for this sake, we're just going to work on a normal standard bill of quantities, and you can put your base dates in, and these things we use in the feasibilities for our escalation calculations, VAT rate, and let's say we prepared bill tracks, and today we're going to look at a sectional bill of quantities. So now here you can just choose no bill of quantities. You just want to measure the drawings, or just a normal straightforward bill of quantities of one building, or you can have a sectional bill of quantities for multiple buildings, but it's going to be a very long bill where you repeat the same items over and over. But today we're going to show you how to do a sectional bill of quantities. You can choose the amount of sections. I like normally to put in 3 for one section. One will be my preliminaries. Section 2 will be my buildings. And section 3 would something be like external works or provisional sums and things like that. So, but for the sake of this purpose, I'm going to leave it for 2 because we don't have a lot of time. And let's call it, the first one is preliminaries. And it has got only one location. And let's say the section 2 is going to call buildings. And that one have, call it 3 locations. And you can now also copy a structure from an existing project, which I've shown you guys previously, or you can import a whole of bill of quantities from Excel. You will add the bills to your sections. We've now created the preliminaries and the buildings in our sections there. So I'm just going to put a blank one there. So we've got one blank, and let's create 3 bills into buildings. That is where we want to work at. I'm just going to show them blank now. You can copy them from the model bill of quantities, or copy them from another project that you've worked on before. But for this sake, we're just going to create the 3 there. And then here you can you can do format options of how you want your H1, your headings want to look like. Must it be bold, underline? In default, we've chosen these ones, but you can always change them as much as you want. We can insert logos. So, for instance, if I want 3 logos on your, I can show you just now. If you want logos for checkbook properties, and let's say pencil architects is another one, and we put our own one also on. So you can add a few logos there. And you want to have logos on your continuation pages? Yes, we want to show that, and we use our build pracs one there for us now, and we create our project. So this is the platform where we're going to go and work on. You can upload DXF files or PDF files, or we can upload um, both of them, or either. So for the sake of today's one, I'm just going to upload the just going to a plan of a shopping center, and the drawing would look like this. Now you can zoom it in and out for your ears, and I'm just going to call it for this one. Now, because it's a PDF, we must always set the scale first. So we set the scale, and I know that distance from there to there is 40 meters. And we set the scale, and the scale is set, and you will know that by showing the scale on the right and top hand side there. And it will show on the name of the drawing next to the name of shopping plan, a PDF, and it will show there. Obviously, if you upload the DXF file, it's not necessary. So I'm going to quickly measure these, just for the sake. I'm just going to make it very simple, and we will measure the 3 buildings. So let's say shopping 01, and we can measure that in square meters, and we can choose that one. Let's call it a blue one, and we enter it. And I will just going to measure. Let's say we want to have this area as one building. And okay, I'm not going to be so accurate. Okay, you can go backwards also if you miss a point. And I just want to measure these ones quickly. And we can say, okay, just for the sake of this, I'm going to end it up to there. And then you right click, and there's now the one building. It will always light up if you hover over it, and you see, all right, there's shopping one. Okay. And then I'm going to add another one. So I just need to admit somebody there. Um, put shopping 02, and let's give it a different color. And we can put that one, let's say pink color or that color. And I'm just going to make it, we will put one there, there. Obviously, the DXF files snapping, do snap and everything, and then show you the layers and so forth. Um, but for this sake, I'm just going to quickly run through what we do here. So we've got now shopping one, which we've measured there. Shopping two is there, and let's have a third one. And we say shopping 03. And obviously you can now measure from here all your lengths, your internal walls, your shop fronts, your pavings, your parkings, and so on. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to keep this also that green color. All right. And let's say we put this area as a third building. And we call it, this is the three buildings that we have. Now, multiple buildings, sorry, I should have actually explained a little bit more. We will use it normally when you have a residential project where we've got all kinds of different types of houses, or residential types of blocks, or different apartment block, or a hospital where you've got different wards and you've got different buildings, but it's all part of one thing. Schools is a very typical project that will run with multiple buildings, universities, and so forth. It is when you've got a project and you've got all kinds of different these different buildings that is now sitting on there. All right, so let's say we've now measured all our drawing nicely, and we're going to run over to the bill of quantities. The bill of quantities will automatically number itself, each section and the bills that you have chosen there in the front. In this case, we said it was section one, and it was just I've given a one bill, and I just gave it a name. You can change it whatever you want, and we will say also bill number one, preliminaries. You can change the unit, the how many, if you want it to be measurable, how many decimals must it be, how many dim cells do you need it into it, and so on. But that is just nice to have. And let's have an item here. And here we copy from our model bill of quantities. Our model bill of quantities is about, there's more than 10,000 items in here. We've got all our trades that is hanging in here on the top. All right. And for what I'm just now going to look at the preliminaries. And we have been through this. And let's say provide temporary water. Okay, just that one in there. And so we've got one item. And let's say you've got all your preliminaries. I'm going to just price it here so that we don't have to come back to it. And let's say it's 5,000 there. So now in section one, we've got our bill, and there we are. So in our section two, which is the section with the multiple buildings, we choose the section two, and you will see there's a location A, and there's well, the bill. We're going to still name the bills that we want. So if we got section A, um, which you can also name and so on. Let's say it was shopping mall A or B or C, and you can give it a name there where we created them in the middle in the center. So And now we're going to add a bill. And so it's bill 1. And we say, let's say we will call it Earthworks for that sake. Earthworks. And there's Earthworks. It will show it will show in the drop-down box, and it's going in there. And we will add an item. We can again add from copy from our bill of quantities. We've got Earthworks. We've got lots of items that you can choose of, and I'm not going to go through it now in detail, but um, okay, sorry, I just want to have excavate. Sorry, it is excavation. Let's say we've got excavate in earth, and we have in trenches and reduce levels under floors. All right, there's two of them, and here they sit. So you will see typically it will show you that it is A is now building A, which would have been now whatever we would have called it, B and C. And they will then total up to a total value in your quantity column. So if we measure them quickly and we say, all right, here's one, and we can link them. So then here's our measurements that we have linked from our drawing. So from our drawing is sits here, and there's our measurements that is what was linked it to. All right. Then what was this one? This oversight to form platforms. Let's say it is the area there, and all you need to do, you just click on the item that you want to choose. You click in there, it sits there. You press enter, and let's say it is one, and we want it 300 millimeters thick, and that item is measured. To reduce levels under floors, that is also probably which I wanted to add there. It is all into the shopping 01, and we put there, and let's say that was now 0.2 and 1. And so forth. And the trenches, when we measure, that's one thing I wanted to show you. When we measure here, is it will show you the area and also the perimeter of the building. So whatever we have measured there, that measurement that is coming through, show the area and the perimeter. So we've got the areas and the perimeters here. So when we go here, and let's say we wanted to have now the trenches, and there will be a meter item. So I'll say one or one, enter, and I will say, so that is the area, and that will be the perimeter. If there's deductions made, you also do it there, and it will have the deductions, and then if you've got numbering, it will show there. If you have this, the length of our foundation there, for 6 wide, and let's say a meter deep, and there it is. Okay, so that's measured. So when you have linked your items, um, so it will always show with a blue thing there, and if you hover over it, it will show you where it comes from. Sometimes when we measure there are pages and pages of these measurements, but for this sake, I'm just showing you. Okay, so there they are, and so, and then we can hide the measurements again, and we can go to bill number 2, and let's say bill number 2 is called concrete, and I will just put one item there, concrete, um, and add one item. We copy from the model bill of quantities. You click the concrete formwork and reinforcement, and let's say your strip footings. There's strip footings in the surface bed. And there we are. So the strip footings, we go there again. One, we can say we link it to our measurements. It was still in location A. So measure this one, and we link it to the strip inner, and we link it there. The width is zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.3 thick, and there's our external walls for that one, for instance, or if we want to have our slab measured, it is there, and um, it is one, and that slab is 0.15 thick times one. And you can also change the number of cells you want in when you press here, you can click and you can ask the decimals, but you can also say I've got so many dim cells. You can change that there as well. Anyway, that is just for interest sake. And now you will see we have measured A, the location A, and it was all like these items. Okay, let me quickly run, we are running out of time. Let me quickly do a location B. And you'll see as soon as I do location B, they all turn 0, the quantities here, because we've chosen location B. And let's link that one to a length in the B area, which is 72, which is that strip footings. It is meter. We put that there, and it is zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.3 thick, and there we are. So, and let's give it also a surface bit, and it is 1, and the area we can add there, and it is 300 millimeter thick, 1, and we can close it. And so, and you click on that, on the quantity there. And I think we must just do location B also in earthworks. And I will measure, for instance, one there. And let's say the reduced levels under the floors for that one. There we put it in, and that is for, okay. So now we have got, okay, now we've got, let's say now you've measured all your buildings, all your items are now measured, and you will see. So you've got the three types of buildings, but it's all fit into one bill of quantity. So you don't have to repeat all these items 3 times or 10 times or 6 times or 7 times, or how many buildings you have. So, and to price this, I'm just going to put in 5, 10, 15, and then we will go to the next bill, and it will be, let's say, 210 and 200 and so forth. So, and so now you will see our bills. This is now the location um, for building B with that will show the bill total for that location and the complete project total with everything that we've got so far. So, and when you chose a different a location, then that totals will show there. And if you now gonna look at all of them, then they show all of them together. So the 4923, all of these totals together. So when we want now to export this or print it to the Excel, so, and we say it is priced, or we want to use it for our feasibilities or our estimates or certificates, and you can choose here the buildings that you want to use. So for this sake, I'm just going to put A, B, and C there and do pre. So here's our logos that we've had, like I showed you before. And the bill of quantities, and this was now section number 1. Your continuation logo is in there. Your earthworks, now it will look like your a very professional way with it will show also the name of each one of A is whatever they are, and it will say the quantities for each one that we've measured and in their totals. Now, say for instance, and it will go down to the summary page, and in your summary page, it will show you the total of each one of your buildings. So you got your preliminaries, and in your summary, you can see A, B, or C, and it totals up to that. And you've got your contingencies if you wanted to do that, and or discounts, and you've got your VAT on there. Um, but now you, for instance, sit and your clients say, listen, building B is too expensive. Let's do it without building B. And you say to him, listen, no problem. We go back to our project and we just say print and we remove building B. And then when we preview again, you will see that building B is now gone and it will be only the totals of A. So A, because we didn't put in totals for C, but now it will be A, and it's going to be the revised costings there. And then again, when we go to our summary page, there are the totals for A and C, and B is gone, and this is our new totals. So now we have done the bill of quantities, we priced it, and we want to do a monthly payment certificate. Now, to do a monthly payment certificate in this way, it's going to be difficult because you've got now one bill of quantities, and with showing strip footings of 49, for instance, and it shows all of them. So how are we going to do our, and let's say, for instance, they've built half of the foundations of building A. So what we do is when we go to our certificates, we start with our certificates. We've been through this before. I will, and it is on our YouTube channel. It's easy to get, and we just continue with our certificate. But what I'm trying to say to you is, so in our certificate page, we will see now it extract all the buildings, all the items for building A that has been measured. So A will have then bill number 1, bill number 2, the concrete, and it will have, in building B is going to be the earthworks and the concrete, and building C, whatever we have measured there. So so when you go out in the field and you want to do a certificate, you can easily go, and so if you start with your valuation, you say, all right, this guy has done there, it's 10% complete, and this thing is 30% complete. It will give you 30% or that, or you could say a quantity there, and you can put in a quantity. Let's say it's 100, and if you put 100, it will give you the percentage on the other side. So you can put either of these two, and you've done your certificate for building A and building B and building C, and it will run through like that. Again, also, and sorry if I am running fast on this, because I really would like to show you how it's all linked through to your estimates. But when we have, do the bill of quantities, you don't need to do it exactly as per a bill of quantities or as per your the model bill of quantities. You can measure this for as like an estimate, obviously, and you measure it and you price it as if you are pricing an estimate in a elemental way of measuring, or you price your bill of quantities as it is if you got the time for it. When we go to estimates and feasibility, again, I'm not going to go through the details of these. There's a lot of detail that we put into estimates and feasibilities because they are complicated. with contingencies and preliminaries that we would like to put in, if what exclusions we have, direct costs and so forth. In our direct costs, if we got in there, there's hundreds of items. Let's say in hospitals, if you got direct costs, you will have all these scanners and X-ray equipments and whatever you want to have. In shopping and retail, we have now different, the mall, digital, whatever you can see there. But anyway, this is not where we want to. This is for a separate section of our webinars. And so I'm just going to create the certificate. So it will look like this, your feasibility or your estimate and so on in a summary at the end. But where I want to get to you is to show you how it's all linked. So obviously your land, when you it is all linked to that drawing. If you put the area of the land, you can put it in there. But in the improvement costs and how I want to show you is, so when we look at our Annexure C, our improvement costs, it will now show all the the buildings that we've had. So it's buildings A, B, and C that we had, and that is just for the construction area. Normally, you can add your preliminaries in here, or you can just delete it. I like to put my preliminaries at the bottom. We've got all kinds of preliminaries that is coming here, and it shows as a percentage that we've shown at the front. And to me, I personally think it's a bit more accurate. But it is absolutely of your choice. So now we want to add in our construction area. These things are all linked to the drawings. If every link that we use in our bill of quantities, the certificates, the estimates, all are linked to these. If we add an area and that DMT is a drawing measurement total, if you link to that, you will see all these are items or quantities or measurements that we receive from that measurement in the measure in the from here, and it will be these totals that carried forward always. So if we carry on here and we say we do our area calculation, we want to link that, and there is shopping one, and there it is. So if we change it into, and it is done. So, and area two, you can link again, and it will be this one, and it is done. And let's say building C, we had it and we linked it, and there's our areas, with construction areas, is sitting in here. Now, to work out now our building costs, now you can either put in a rate, if you want to put in a rate, your rate per square meter, and this is the way you do your certificate, or you want to have it a little bit more accurate, you can do it, and we will do a rate calculation, and then you pick a total from the bill of quantities. So here we've got in our, from the summary of our bill of quantities, you can use either a bill total or from earthworks concrete that you have used, or it is the total for that building. Obviously, that's going to be the most, and it you use. So there's the total that it is, and it will work out the rate per square meter. So it's the area, and this will calculate by itself. Again, if we want to do a rate calculation for area B, I don't know if we have priced it. Yes, it is something. It is C that we haven't priced. And there we are. And we can put in for this one and just a rate like I showed to you. So this is basically what I was trying to get to. So these are linked with multiple buildings. It is and with multiple buildings, you can now quickly link to them, to your drawings, to these. And when the drawing changes, all these links will change. So if you look now in your feasibility, and you look, and you're going to see what it's going to look like. And let's say the executive summary we've seen now, or okay, let me show you that in this one. So if we look at your it will always show your logos that you wanted in there, the name of the guy that signed. Now, Annex just sees your improvement costs. It will show you your construction area, show all the different buildings that you had in the locations with the areas. It will then show the area with that rate that you've measured and you picked it from the bill of quantities without ease, with no problem, and it is all linked here into one platform. You do our detailed design contingency, external works. This is complicated. It's a webinar on its own, which we've done last week. So it is on the webinar if you are interested to look at it. And that's it. So basically, this is where we are. So if we change these areas, all these areas, and if you change it all, if you save this project under a different name and you load it again under a different name, and you can delete the drawing, all the links and will be sitting again. So these measurement items sit there, and they will stay there if you use the same file. Now, and so your new drawing comes up. You measure the new buildings and all their links to their foundations and their slabs and their walls and their roofs and their pavings and their and whatever you've marked, measured, and pavings and whatever, it will all be linked right through to the bill of quantities, to your certificates, to your feasibility, and you will at all times. So if your final account, for your final account, as your drawings change, it will always keep your bill of quantities and your certificates up to date. So, and the other nice feature that I'm trying to say to you is I saved this project now for you into a file, and it's called a JSON file. It is one file that includes all the drawings, all the bill of quantities, all the certificates, and all these items, everything that you have done now. So I'm working on this Mac here. I send this Mac now through to Ernst, and Ernst it's on his Windows machine. He opens it on his Windows machine, and he just carry on as if exactly the same. So these uh, platforms look exactly the same on Windows and on Mac, and they are sharing the same thing. So this is basically what I wanted to try and show you, and I'm going to see if I can. Ernst, can you maybe un is it possible to? Yeah, you can. So
Yes.
if there's any questions, please, guys, you can just unmute yourself and ask. I would be gladly come and show you some more stuff. But we're just running out, and I always try to keep it within the 45 minutes, but normally we're running out of time. So and on these things. So are there no questions?
All good from my side. Thank you.
I'm okay. Thank you very much.
Sorry, nobody else with any questions? So if um, there's anything else, if it's not even related to multiple buildings. Yes,
Charlie,
Ernst.
I think you stunned us with this with this one. It's really nice and it's very user friendly. Perhaps you can just perhaps show the costs of the packages if there is someone that is interested in it.
Sorry, I always forget that. Thank you, Ernst. to, let me just share again, to, it is all, you can just go to the website and you will go, where's the website now? And we will say build breaks. You just price, sorry, let me just move this thing where I can see. So you just type in build packs, and in our website, this is the website, and you can just go to pricing. The different packages that we have is you can measure the drawings, and that is it, right through. So all the packages include the measurement. Or some people, and these are monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly prices. Or if you want multiple prices when you bought the yearly thing, there's a little bit of a discount there. So as you can see, the whole package with everything is affordable, for smaller practices even, and we try to make it so that everybody on Mac and or on Windows is able to can afford a package like this. And or you've got the Emerald will have some people just working with feasibility, so they can have that packages. Or the Sapphire, they don't worry about feasibilities. They do measure the drawings, bill of quantities, payment certificate. Or the Diamond, like most of the people buy everything. And they subscribe for that. And these are your monthly, quarterly, half yearly, and additional prices per year. And yeah, that is our things, and it is everything you can find here. You will also, if you look at the on our YouTube channel, you can just search for build packs on YouTube. You will find it. There will be lots of videos showing a little bit more in detail how we do the measurements and how we price these price do the measurements, how we do the certificates, how that the thing is putting together. But it is really, I have seen people that is taking the most complicated version, which is the feasibilities, because we work on with cash flow forecasts, and we work with contingencies and escalations, and we work with um, advance payments and advance repayments and guarantees and things. So, and all of that is taken in account. And so we do our cash flow forecast virtually in with a matter of a few clicks. And so, and but all of that, but I wanted to say, so that is the most uh, complicated one. And we've seen people, they do it like in the morning, and they will finish it, and they sent me a brilliant feasibility without me or Ernst or anybody showing them at least nothing what to do. They just watched the videos, and then they kept on doing the feasibility. So it is very user friendly and easy to work with. And the reason why I created one of the main reasons I created Build Practice, because we do not get anything in Mac of these platforms. And to measure and do a bill of quantities and do your certificates and your feasibilities all in one platform, and we're sharing screen, multiple files between Mac and Windows. Um, it's very rare to find. Any other questions? Man, I thank you so much. I really, really appreciate our university staffs that joined us there. I think it's Almery and Dr. Petersen. Thanks very much. And then I will still speak to my partners in this thing in 2 weeks' time for we'll have another webinar. I'm trying to look at interesting subjects that is educational part that can help students more and understanding little differences, how the actual practice work, and for instance, like certificates, why you want certificates and how to get them more accurate, or final accounts, or like last week we've done now the feasibilities in depth. But yes, and thanks everybody. Is that it, Aaron's? So if anybody wants to, I'm here. If you want to ask questions, I'm here. I will leave last.
No, Charlie, just one thing. I think all of our QSs are sworn Excel users. But what was nice for me, start using it. You can measure. You can, for instance, link a a a, a bill item. For instance, your collections, um, just by putting in the equal sign, and you can take another quantity from another. You don't just have to link to the drawing. You can link to your other measurements as well, and that's been quite helpful.
I forgot to tell that. And also when you link your drawings and to the other items or rates, when you hover, every link that you hover, it will come and show you where it comes from. So it like it lights up and it show you. I wish I had a little bit more time to show a bit more. But Dr. Peter, you've got your hand up there. You're welcome to unmute yourself. Can
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Ernst, for the invite. This was most insightful. This was my first initiation into this. So I will definitely be spreading the message here at home so that we can see how we can go forward. But I will spend a lot of time on your website and I will bombard you with questions as we go along, because currently we only I don't want to say promoting, but introducing students to the one program. So alternatives would be most welcome then.
I appreciate so much that you weren't there, because for so long there was like a monopoly, and it really and I found like, and I don't want to say it really, but I think they price it so that only the huge big companies can afford it, and to pay 60,000 rand a year for a platform is a absolutely a sign of when people sit with a monopoly. Not that I'm saying, I'm not bad mouthing anybody. Please don't understand me. Don't misunderstand me. It is just that there weren't other options available, and I think it is possible to have it. And thank you very much, Dr. Prius. I honestly appreciate that. So that students can see that there are different options.
Yeah. Charles, can I just ask, have you, I know you're rolling out now, but have you considered student packages, because must we use a licensed version to roll out to all the students, or how do we go about that?
What we would do is, if the university has got machines, all right, we will have on the university's computers, we put it on for free. And all students, as if they can get a proof of their student number or their student, but from a letter from university, we'll give it to them for free as well, until they are not a student anymore. So all students will have access to this, and and we would like to give it to free for all the everybody, but no, it's not possible. But we would like to have it. We offer it for free to all students, and obviously to all the machines of the university itself. So no, there's no payment for universities or students at this stage. Naledi, you can unmute yourself.
Good afternoon. I hope it runs well.
Yes.
This was also my first time attending and also finding out about both the pregs. I feel like, yeah, had I found out or knew about this earlier, because I'm doing my honors now, I feel like undergrad, even honors, everything would have been so much easier. I feel like it's time efficient, it's not difficult to use.
Oh, it's
It
so nice to
really,
hear.
yeah, this is really lovely. Also, it's nice that it's affordable. Also, with what Dr. Peter said, I
Yeah.
think if universities knew about it, yo, this
Yeah,
is
we
like
can get
hotcakes.
we're working hard on it, and obviously, and why we are doing that is that, and we had long talks about it just with Ernst and Andrew, and is that people that work with, and especially older people like me and Ernst and so on, that worked for years and years and years on a thing. So, change is not easy. All right. So we had to make this thing so easy that it really looks easy to change. But virtually there is really nothing into it. What you see there is what is in there. There's some very nice other features where you could, which I would like to show you guys later sometime, or you can really contact me, or I can give you guys personal demos if you want, all at all any time. But and if you want any updates and upgrades, yes, please call me, and we do it. We change this thing all the time as we carry on. But there are things like you can highlight. For instance, always when we do a bill of quantities, you can press a highlight. It's an, I must come back to this item. Please, I remember, I can't remember what is the pipe diameter, but I just highlighted. So you can highlight the thing. And then in your to-dos, there's a to-do button that you can press, and to-do will tell you, listen, you haven't measured this one, or you didn't price that provisional sum yet, or you haven't, there's still a question mark in your description, or there's a, you know, that little underscore lines that we've got that you must still. So the app, before, when you press to do's, it runs through all your descriptions and everything, so that to make sure that you've covered everything and there's not going to be a double space or a double thing, or you know, some things like that, and it will tell you to fix it, and that you can press a button, it will take you to that item and you can fix it right there. So once you've finished with your document, you can just press your to-dos and you will carry on. You can also forward your to-dos. You can highlight these items and send it to your colleague, and your colleague just check, and you tell him, oh, just check for me all the highlighted areas, and your colleagues will carry on, and he receive everything that you got in one file. There's one file that you receive with the drawings, with everything, and it is, well, depends. No, Ernst is working on projects with where he loaded like 25, something like that, drawings onto it, and and he worked with a lot of sections, and it's very complicated. And I wish we had time to show you, but to do that. So that is also of the features that we do. But we do that because architects and engineers, they've got pretty pictures to show off. All that we have is we've got accuracy, and we have to give them beautiful documents. And that is our aim at Bill Pratt. We must look 100% professional, and there can't be mistakes. We're trying to limit mistakes as far as we can, and we help people to do that. And because anyway, yes, Ernst.
Yes, Charlie, I know the seminar is over, but I see people haven't left yet. What's nice for me as well, tenderers are used to Excel. If you can just perhaps quickly show how nice the Excel export looks. It's presentable nearly straight from the export. I know this
Okay.
job is now small, but that's one of the things,
Oh, I'm
especially,
sharing still. I say I'm still sharing.
yeah.
Sorry. I see the, oh my word. I was wondering why it's looking so funny. All right, let me go. Yeah. So, when we, I don't know what I'm going to do, but let me see if we export the priced one and let's say all the buildings, and we're going to preview it. And you can choose here also all the pages that you want or not, and so on. So you can press it, and there we go. We export them to Excel, and we're gonna put it into there in Masterclass 5, and we will put, let's say, there. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't have a clue. I hope it's look right, but let's see. And here's my Excel. Okay, that's the cover page, and your bills will have your item unit like this, and it will look already with the headers that you will look like the section. It will look the unit quantity rate amount. It will give the item number. It is section 2, bill number 1, item 10 over the site, but it is underlined. It's, everything is the way that you've seen it there. We try to make it in our Excels so that it is not just a bunch of columns and figures. So we're trying to make it look like a quantity surveyor looked at this. Anything else? Is it, Ernst, did you still got a question?
It's a new hand, this, Charlie. Yeah, while you were on the Excel, what's also very nice is as a QS office, you have got 20 years of libraries and models and everything. So what's really nice is you can import your Excel file, which other software does not do easily. And you can, I know every office has got its own fashion, how they do stuff, and your descriptions. I mean, everybody differs. So it's really nice for me to take an old Excel export, import it in here, and my master bill, let's say for a hospital, is there. It's not based on the model bill that I need to edit a lot of things by previous hospital or Technicon or whatever is in there. And that's really that's what really nice about this. Thank you.
Okay. Omer, you can, yes,
Yeah. Hi, Charlie. It's a really
yes.
long time no see and no speak. I think it's going like 35 or 40 years for you
I
and me and Inge.
know. Are you well?
I'm quite well, thank you.
It is
Um,
so nice to see you, man.
Charlie, I want to find out, and this is now from an academic point of view, um, if I want to check, because for me it's important to see how a student thinks. How do they get to where they are? From an educational point of view. And if I want to check a student's dimensions, some of the other packages you can print out dimensions. Now,
Yeah.
as I'm like Inge, this is the first presentation I joined, so I would just like to see what does it look like if I want to interrogate a student's dimensions to see what the thought process was.
Okay. So when we go there to print, print Excel, you can print the DIMS, all right? And you can preview, and you will see, where was this one? It will show you all these ones, because we've worked on
Yeah, we
linked
just
items, it shows you the links. I didn't show you, but okay. In the DIMS, um, in the DIMS, in that DIMS that I've showed you there, obviously you must now also press it for A, and you must choose now A, and it will look at the DIMS of A, and of building A, or the DIMS of building A, let's say A, and if you previous that. So, but it is linked to a total which is measured there, you'll see. When you've got measurements, and it really shows it nicely on another project. I wonder if I can open it one for you. Um, it it shows exactly the length, but because these items are now linked to these measurements, all right, these measurements that is into the bill of quantities. So there you will see it will light up. It says now that one is there. So we take it from there to there. So it will only show you that, but it will show you sometimes the.
Charlie, there on the right top hand side, export to Excel measurements. Isn't that the one you're looking for?
That is no, that's not that one. That is the export to Excel measurements is your measurements here. But your DIMS that you show is, I must open another project and just to show you, I want to show, because we've now opened, let me open another project I want to actually show you a project where, I just want to see if there's one with DIMS. So let's say there's a bill of quantities, and let's see if there were other DIMS there. Yes, some DIMS where we've tried. Okay, let's see if I can get for this one. If I say, if you export that and you print the DIMS out, it will say they include the highlights I will show you just now the highlights also if you want. So preview, and it will show you, here's all your DIMs. That was the reference one, the length times the width times the depth, and it gives you the total and of each of those items, and then it gives you the total and that one. So here you can check the what he has measured. So, and if there was a length like 44.0, that it is normally a linked item. These are normally, when it got all this lot of 5 decimals into it, these are always that we've used for demos, these projects. But if you use a normal, like we've used it in our old days, just by hand, it will show you. But anyway, Almarie, your number, length, width, depth is here, and then the total, and carry it forward to that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Petersen, Inga. Oh,
Yeah, I just want to reprimand you. You're talking about old people. You remember, I was quite a few years ahead of you.
I know. And we're
Nevertheless,
still young.
what I wanted to ask, Charlie, is I couldn't really see that demo of yours. I just wanted to ask about the references. If you wanted to check line item by line item of students' work.
Yeah. We do it into in these ones. Let me share again. So if you look in a DIM, for instance, there's the dimensions there. We will put in a reference, and I type there now internal walls times that, and he would now put in he could he reference his item for each one of his DIMs. I'm doing a project in a few projects in Ireland at the moment. If you got DIMs without references there, they almost throw it away. You must be so referencing every single of your measurements here must show. Okay, this one was internal walls, or so when you finished entering here, it will go immediately into there, and you will say bathroom, whatever, walls, and so, but yeah, so the references are here, and then the DIMs come out, and it shows like that in that DIM slips that I showed you earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, and then while we're here, so there's the highlight thing. So you're gonna take here, and then you highlight this one or that one, and when you look at it in a PDF, what was that now? Bill number 3. Preview was bill number 3, hey? Bill number 1, 2, 3, and that will show there. And that you must see there's all brick walls. You must do that thing still. And yeah. Anyway, any more questions? It is so nice that we talk so long. Well, it is so nice, and I really like at the end of our we're trying to do this now every second week. So if you guys got things or that that you want us to cover for your students, you're very welcome, and we'll try and make up a little thing with build pranks onto a thing if there's any reason or anything, if like feasibilities was a nice one. But if there's anything that we can do from our side to assist on that, we're trying to do that every second week, and then everybody can just talk to each other from anywhere in the world, and communicate. Tebogo. Yes, Tebogo.
Yes, Charlie. I
Yes.
hope everyone is doing well. I just had a quick question. I don't know if I had missed the tutorial or the webinar, but can build tracks sort of give me my material schedule? Let's say I have the square meterage of my one brick wall, and I want to figure out how many bricks go into that, let's say 80 squares of bricks.
You know,
Is there any way? Say that again.
at the moment, no. And I'm going to tell to you why. Is that, and the reason is the contractors do that normally. All right. It is something, and they take our programs and they put it into CCS and CSS, whatever it is. And they work with their programs and which order material and do that. The other thing, the main thing that I was thinking of doing it, I really, I was just honestly, I was doing it, and it will probably not be a problem. But because we are now, we're trying to get build products internationally working everywhere now. BRICS in South Africa and BRICS in Mozambique and BRICS in the DRC and BRICS in Ireland and BRICS in Canada, and they all look the same, different sizes, even different strengths in concrete and so on. So to take the risk of telling somebody you're going to need so much cement and so much stone if you build that, and maybe they order too less or too more, or they price it wrong. I don't think we are quantity surveyors. We must stay like that. I think so. But if you guys want to, if you guys want to uh, if the if the demand is there, we can always look at it, but I'm not so keen on doing it because there's a seriously risk on doing piece of materialists.
Understood, Charlie. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Ernst.
Yeah, I just see in the chat box, Carly
I'm sorry.
is asking about the future webinars. It's mostly LinkedIn, but I think you can just answer that.
Thank you, demonstrate. Look forward. Sorry. My software seems efficient and replaces the use of DMX. Just want to find out we could put more info about. I normally, Carly, I will send you an invite or thing. What you can do is you send me an email and I will let you know when the next one is. It is normally every 2 weeks, and I post it on LinkedIn. It is my email is support at buildprax.com, and you can find it on the website. You can also get a thing. Yes, Almarie.
Sorry again, Charlie. I'm
No.
just thinking about teaching students how to use your program. Because even if there are good YouTube videos, they do get stuck. What
Yeah.
kind of support or training can you provide for students?
Oh,
Because
anytime.
in our case, only our honors students measure electronically. Now, Kaya and Carly were both here today. I see Kaya has left, but they were in our honors class last year. Um, and I think they can support that how they struggle to actually get to learn the program over and above what they need to measure.
We are here. There's Ernst, and it's myself, and there is Andrew. They can contact us. I've got on my website. You will see on the Bullprax website. You can book in also. If I show you, I don't know if it's still open. They can book one-on-ones. We would definitely, no problem. I've got, and it, oh man, where's the website now? There. All right. So when you see here, there's a booked live demonstration on the website. So if they can book there, they can book, and we will get there. But Almarie, we will personally help them, and we can do it by either online. It's probably better to be it online because then we can take multiple students at a time, or if they have the common problems, or if they come. But if there's any changes that you guys want, you can also speak to us, and we will make changes and improve the thing. We'd like to make this as easy as one can do without having to have lectures and lectures and lectures to do this. Really, our aim is to make this easy, like a child that's coming out of school can be able to measure it.
Okay,
But
I'm the oldest of the three of us, so if I can manage, the children should manage.
yeah,
Okay, but thank you, Charlie.
you're welcome.
Yeah, Charlie, if I can answer, I mean, I'm not, the kids call us BC, before computers.
Yeah.
And we used to play with the old 386s and whatever. And Doug Brook, I don't know if the older people will remember him. He started way back with the measuring program called Concept at that stage, and it was still a DOS-driven system with codes and stuff. But yeah, that was the start of it. But to answer you, Almarie, the kids nowadays they click much faster than us. And to tell you honestly, I had a half an hour I spent with Charlie, and I did a job. I had a few questions. Obviously, I think he was a bit cross with me later. Uh, but yeah, it's really easy. It's the workflow is easy. You start with your drawing, you get your areas, and you pull up your master bill or your project bill that you want to work with. You can even copy from your own project. But yeah, it's really user friendly, and I must say the questions that I had and the suggestions that I had to Charlie, the next update, it's in, it's there. So if there's a problem with workflow or uncertainty, there is also a help file. But yeah, it's really, if you can do Excel, I think you're done here.
It's
Okay,
easier
thanks. In
than
that
Excel.
case, I should manage.
Yeah, you will. Elmarie, you will. It is really not difficult. Um, we um, when you just do it, you take a simple building or a simple drawing and you just start measuring, you will see it's easy. But
Okay.
what is nice is that it is like in our young days, we couldn't link it to drawings. And now our drawings are measured but it is now linked to your item. So if the drawing, let's say you've got a lot of shopping centers or a lot of hospitals, you use that same structure. You just put a new drawing in it. And you measure the same foundations, the same items. You measure the foundations, the walls, the roofs, and everything. And your whole bill of quantities is done, because they are all linked. And yeah, it is really so much making it easier for us. I wish we had this when we were younger. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad. Thanks much for joining, you guys. I really appreciate. I will anyway. I will email everybody a copy of the recording, and but it will also be at the and I think it goes automatically to your inboxes, and but it will be also uploaded onto the YouTube.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie.
Okay. All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Charlie. See you again.